CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday. Greater Sudbury Police arrested a man for drug trafficking over the weekend in Esther, just south of the city. Police say they were investigating a person who was believed to be in possession of multiple unlawful firearms. When police executed a search warrant for the home on Elbow Lake Road, they found more than $8,000 worth of cocaine and $150,000 in cash. They also found 3 loaded guns. The 55-year-old man faces 12 criminal charges. Meanwhile, police in North Bay arrested a man last Thursday carrying cocaine and counterfeit cash. Police stopped a 25-year-old man wanted on failing to comply with release and probation orders on McLaren Avenue. The man fled and was later found hiding under a car on Ann Street. Police found a small amount of cocaine and 3 counterfeit $50 bills with serial numbers that match previously reported fake currency. Well, above seasonal temperatures out there, but that is not going to last. Get ready for a major drop in the mercury. To tell us more, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Well, Tony, just like your Amazon delivery guy, I deliver the weather. And of course, we've had snow today. We've got more snow tonight. We'll talk about some of those numbers right across Northeastern Ontario. And yes, it will get cold. Thursday will be sunny and cold right across the Northeast. Our systems map as this system flits its way throughout the Northeast and winds up in the province of Quebec. And again, we've got chance of snow, 60%. We've got periods of snow. We've got flurries, and we've got some windy conditions as well. We'll get into that and a lot more. Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. Details coming up minutes away.
Thanks for that, Rick. A death investigation is underway in Sudbury following an overnight fire at an encampment near the city's warming center that killed a 38-year-old woman. CTV's Amanda Hicks has details.
Yellow tape surrounds the area near Sudbury's warming center where the fire broke out just before 10 o'clock Monday night. By the time help arrived, it was already too late.
Individuals at Energy Court noticed the tent fire. They were able to extinguish it with snow. However, once they extinguished it, they did find a deceased person inside the tent.
Police have identified the victim as a 38-year-old woman. While the cause is still under investigation, Sudbury's fire chief says this is a challenge facing many Ontario cities.
It is one of the biggest challenges for fire services right now in Ontario. We have formed a working group that includes internal and external stakeholders across the city so that it's a coordinated effort that tries to find balance between the need for warmth, and which sometimes means using fire, and of course, ultimate public safety to try and prevent something tragic like happened last night.
It is a tragic loss.
The 24/7 warming center, located just steps away, is run by the Go Give Project. While the facility was not at capacity at the time of the fire, the organization says it is continuing to work with the city of Greater Sudbury on a long-term response.
We still aren't aware of what the cause was at this time, so there are ongoing investigations taking place. So we can't really speak to a solution for this specific problem, but we can share that we are working very closely with community partners, including the city, to come up with more rapid solutions for, the overall general crisis that our community is facing.
The fire marshal and coroner have taken the lead on the investigation, looking to identify the cause of death and determine what sparked the fatal fire. More details will be released following a post-mortem. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The province announced today it's fast-tracking a mining project in the Timmins area under its One Project, One Process framework. CTV's Lydia Chubak tells us more.
The Crawford project near Timmins is another step closer to becoming one of the world's largest nickel mines. The Minister of Energy and Mines says he wants to speed up the opening of this mine to unlock 4,000 jobs and to add $70 billion to Canada's economy as soon as possible.
This is a company that has demonstrated a strong commitment to collaboration, both with First Nations and with community. And so they have our full endorsement.
It's the only mining company in the country so far to receive endorsement from both the federal and provincial governments for having a shovel-ready project.
The transformation that we've seen with the regulatory authorities in terms of how they want to work collaboratively, still as rigorously, but as collaboratively to get permits done, this will give us the certainty to be able to hit that construction milestone by year end.
Matagami First Nation says announcements like this matter because they reflect how Indigenous partnerships are critical to advancing mining projects.
It's one that's built on respect, understanding, and also knowing that there is a responsibility as we move forward with this project. Long gone are the days where First Nation input in terms of sustainability and environmental issues are not factored in.
Nickel is a critical mineral for the green energy industry, and the province says with $4 billion of it in the Timmins region, the city is the center of the new economy.
We've just recently seen what Trump did in Venezuela, embargoing the oil, because he doesn't have any. Well, he doesn't have any nickel either, but he's not going to be able to take our nickel out of the ground. Not a bloody chance. Not a bloody chance. We've got it right here, and we're going to process it here, and we're going to develop value-added industries here in the north. That's our future. That's the promise.
Canada Nickel wants to begin construction on the Crawford mine by the end of this year and open by the fourth quarter of 2028. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Evacuations continue out of Kashechewan First Nation as the community continues to deal with a state of emergency. And now it's getting extra support from First Nation leadership in Ontario. The latest from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
About 700 of the 2,200 residents of Kashechewan have been evacuated, with more expected in the coming week as leadership of the beleaguered First Nation work to fix all the issues.
No timeline right now. Right now, it's just assessing and also doing the repairs and making sure that the teams that are coming in have the proper resources.
It's been 10 days since the Northern Ontario community declared a state of emergency due to its failing water system. The water treatment system is being repaired, and Wesley says water is flowing from taps. However, it's heavily chlorinated and the do not consume order remains in place. But along with the water problems, some residents are sick with gastrointestinal issues.
There is no correlation right now, no real evidence to kind of tie the water to all of these issues, but we are asking public health to make sure that the people that are experiencing gastro issues to be tested to confirm whether or not it is bacteria from the water.
Kashechewan Council represents 7 Cree First Nations in Northern Ontario. The chiefs of that group are demanding the federal and provincial governments commit to sustainable long-term solutions for water treatment and wastewater infrastructure in Kashechewan and other First Nations along the James Bay coast.
Because our water plant is outdated, and so are the other plants in the coastal communities.
Chief Friday calls the situation in Cache a humanitarian crisis.
They drink from the tap, and that tap is not really good. If you wanted to make tea, you see a cream oil on top of your tea when you make a tea. It's really something that nobody from down south would accept to use.
A contingent of First Nation leaders is expected in Kashechewan this Thursday to see the situation firsthand. Invited to be part of that is Minister of Indigenous Affairs Greg Rickford. Wesley is hopeful Rickford will prioritize the visit since he is supposed to work for First Nations. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. But first, this is a live webcam from Timmins and Gillies Lake. This is courtesy of the city of Timmins. The community has issued an extreme cold weather alert with temperatures dropping to -28 overnight and into Wednesday. We are right back.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Enter online for a chance to win a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays. Powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA. Yeah, Leaf fans are busy today planning that Stanley Cup parade after that victory over Colorado. Not so fast. You still have to go through the playoffs if you make it. Forecast radar for today. We've had snow over the course of, pretty well the entire Northeast. In Sudbury, 5 centimeters of snow, a few more to come tonight. We'll take a look at some of the numbers momentarily. You see that system drifting off towards Wednesday and into Thursday. It'll be sunny and cold in just a couple of days. Here we go with some of the numbers now. Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of flurries for tomorrow, -12, -16, and lots of sunshine on Thursday. Friday, periods of snow, -7. Chance of snow Saturday and more of the same on Sunday, -10, -14. As Tony alluded to, with the wind chill, some colder temperatures coming up. Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma, chance of flurries, -11 for tomorrow. Sunny and cold, well, not as cold as some areas. -11 your expected high in the Sault and Algoma. Friday, periods of snow, -4 on the warm-up, -8 chance of snow Saturday, -11 on Sunday with the chance of snow. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, periods of snow for tomorrow, -18. Here are some of those colder temperatures. Thursday, -17 with the sunshine. Chance of snow on Friday at 60%. Flurries on Saturday. Again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 3 days, -12, -15, -19. But at night, you jump from -21 to -25. Yikes, it'll be cold. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, periods of snow tomorrow, -12, -17, sunshine Thursday. Chance of snow Friday, chance of snow on Saturday, and again, some flurry activity, the odd sunny break, and you go from -7 all the way down to -15 in just a couple of days. North Bay, West Nipissing, periods of snow tomorrow, -7. Thursday, sunny but colder, -18. Periods of snow on Friday on the warm-up, -8. -9 on Saturday, chance of snow, then colder on Sunday, chance of snow at 60%. So Tony, bang on with those colder temperatures. Wind chills at night will certainly increase the intensity as well. So bundle up over the course of the next couple of days. We've got some flurries, the chance of snow, and colder weather coming up. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, bundle up. North Bay firefighters are issuing a warning about oscillating fan fires and the dangers they pose when they are left running for a long time. Over the past 6 months, crews have responded to 3 fires caused by fans that were left on for an extended period of time. Fire Services is reminding you to check the cords on household fans for fraying, avoid running them while you're sleeping, and clean them thoroughly. Fire crews say older models, especially those with worn cords or lacking modern safety features, pose a higher risk. And if you hear grinding sounds or smell burning, unplug immediately. U.S. tariffs continue to take their toll on Canada's steel industry. Algoma Steel announcing fourth quarter losses were between $95 and $105 million. In a statement, the company CEO said these losses were in line with the steelmaker's expectations and reflect the impact of tariffs and the wind down of the blast furnace. The CEO also expressed optimism for this year, citing defense supply chains and critical infrastructure supports Algoma Steel looks to be a part of. Despite 1,000 layoffs coming in March, the company hopes to add hundreds of longer-term jobs as domestic orders start coming in. Sudbury Mayor Paul LaFive sent a letter to the province calling on the Ontario government to intervene in LifeLab's decision to close the Greater Sudbury Laboratory this spring, stating the closure will result in the loss of 40 medical laboratory technologists' jobs. LaFive also says the shift from the Sudbury lab to Toronto will create unnecessary risks and cause delays for patients in Northern Ontario.
It's completely unfair. This is equity, right? We live in one province. We should be able to at least get the same level of service that they get in the GTA area. I understand it's a massive province, and I get the distance issues, but this is Sudbury, population of over 190,000 people. We're actually serving a lot of people in the Northeast as well.
LifeLab's laboratory in Sudbury processes diagnostic samples from communities across Northern Ontario, like Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, and many other locations.
We need to advocate. I know I'm not the only one advocating for that, but it's key that we join our voices to the ministry to see how they can intervene to ensure that that key component of our healthcare system, which is lab testing and lab results, that are basically done in a timely way for us in the north, and with this new obviously system that they're looking at doing, basically that would just delay it even further.
Healthcare decisions are a provincial matter. However, Lefebvre says that he is advocating for Northern Ontario to continue having Northerners running tests for other Northerners. They're talking about combining forces coming up on CTV News at 5. Glencore and Rio Tinto are in discussions about a possible merger. We get reaction from a Sudbury union in a few minutes. The city of North Bay says 2025 was a banner year for housing construction. Residential construction accounted for close to $50 million of the total construction values for last year, which reached $147 million, nearly double the previous year's total. The institutional sector accounted for the largest share, totaling over $74 million, largely from the new community and recreation center, as well as 60 new affordable housing units for seniors at the site of a former school.
The half funding the Housing Accelerator Fund through the feds, the $10.2 million that we received for that has a big impetus in making and putting together affordable housing units within our community. And those, I think, are the key that we have been able to achieve with some of the policies, procedures that we've put in place over the past couple of years.
The city believes that early indicators suggest 2026 will continue with strong building momentum. We are getting reaction today on a mega merger involving a mining company with operations in Northern Ontario. Glencore is in talks with Rio Tinto. Officials with Unifor Mine Mill Local 598 say if the two companies merged, it would take years for Sudbury members to see change. Eric Boulay says the two companies are global heavyweights and are going through with this acquisition is not an easy task.
Our members have been through this before. So the takeover from Glencore to Xstrata and Xstrata to Falconbridge, and Noranda was in there too. So in Ontario, we have successor rights. So we'll maintain our collective agreement and we'll just make sure that process is followed, because really that's what we can do as the union.
Boulay says that the union hasn't received any more information on the possible takeover, but he encourages members to attend union meetings to keep up to date. PFLAG and Fierté Sudbury Pride are launching their first parent and caregiver support group this evening at 6 o'clock. The monthly meetings are hoping to establish mutual support, connection, and resources in a judgment-free way.
I think the parents who come already know that they're trying to do the right thing. And so if we can feel connected together, usually that really helps us feel a little less alone, because sometimes I think everyone knows that feeling of I can't be the first person going through this, but also I'm by myself going through this.
Groom says people can register for the meeting or show up until June when the group breaks for the summer. A winter seniors program in the north continues to grow despite no longer having grant funding. Officials say it's a great way to stay active and socialize. CTV's Lindsay Alick tells us more.
The parking lot is full as seniors in Sudbury gather at Kiwi Park for the twice-weekly seniors program.
Originally, the program, we got a grant for it. It was supposed to be run mostly during the summer. That was our main idea. And then we found out that we had a timeline to use the grant. So we came up with the idea of the winter program, thinking that the program would have maybe 30 participants. But even the first day, we had over 60. And then now we're averaging about 90 to 120, with our most popular day last year being 195 participants.
For the past 3 years, the program was free, but with grant funding coming to an end, it will now be pay what you can donations.
It doesn't matter what amount, it's whatever they can afford to give. Sometimes it's $2, some it's $5 per day. But with their donation, then they get access to free rentals, access to the trail, and then a snack and a drink at the end.
For some, it's about socialization. For others, it's all about the exercise. Either way, participants I talk to say it's fun.
It's exercise. It gets you outside. Okay, and there's no better exercise than walking or hiking and that. And so it's great. And plus you get to meet people, and after have a coffee, stand around the fire. Can't beat it. It's a great program.
This is where I met Ted 2 years ago.
Participants can choose from a variety of activities, including cross-country skiing and snowshoeing.
I remember the first day of the first program, these two ladies met just waiting in line to register, and now it's the 4th year and they still come every single day. And they've actually let me know that like now they make it like a day. So before the program they go out for breakfast, and then at noon they come here, get their equipment and go out.
The program runs Tuesdays and Fridays at 1 p.m. until March 6th. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
To the OHL, where 80 of the league's players have made NHL Central Scouting's midterm rankings. Sioux Greyhounds defenseman Chase Reed topped the list for Northern teams, landing 4th in the rankings. North Bay Battalion's forward Ryder Cali is 22nd, and Sudbury Wolves' new acquisition Adam Nemec made the international skaters list at 29th. Reed, Cali, and Wolves winger Rowan Henderson will be playing tomorrow night in the 2026 Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game in Peterborough. The NHL Draft is in Buffalo June 26th and 27th. And one game in the NOJHL this evening. The French River Rapids are headed to Powassan to face off against the Voodoos. Game time is 7 p.m. Innovation in China. When we return, some police officers in a city are being replaced by robots. You're watching First at 5. We are heading to Sault Ste. Marie for our first community close-up. More than 50 works of art by Algoma University's visual arts program are up at Sault Area Hospital. The idea is to create a calming, welcoming care environment. The partnership brought together students, alumni, faculty, and local artists to contribute to the art installation. We're going to Brid, a community south of Sudbury on Highway 69. Carol Hopkins snapped this gorgeous photograph of a sunset. Thanks so much for thinking of us, Carol. And to Sudbury, and Linda Durkaj of Capril spotted some feathered friends while on the moonlight trails. She took these shots of a pine grosbeak and a pileated woodpecker. Great work there, Linda. And finally tonight, remember the 80s movie RoboCop? We thought that would never happen. Well, 4 robotic traffic police officers have started operating in the streets of Hangzhou, a city in southeast China. Equipped with the latest AI chips, multiple cameras, and laser radars, the robo-officers can be on duty 24 hours a day. They gather traffic information and direct traffic according to vehicle flow and intersection conditions. They can also identify illegal barriers. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.